This is the Ryder and Lisa replay.
Brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free.
Thanks to James for reminding us of a little something we used to do on Thursdays normally called the Nostalgia Off, which you put on the back burner for a while. We ran out of ideas mainly.
Yeah, pretty much. We were starting to repeat things. Away she goes.
You were.
No, you were. Or you'd steal mine.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. You have to tell us whose list brings you back more. And just everyone that contributes by voting is entered to win a 6 a.m. Listener Club mug, okay? So hit us up on the text line, whose list brings you back more, 780-784-7107.
Yeah, who hit you in the feels harder?
Because earlier I was talking about Big Comfy Couch, and James called and said, no, the clown's name was Luann or Lunette or whatever it was. Lunette. And her doll was Molly.
Okay.
Who else tried to do the stretching at the beginning of that episode, though, and you were like, oh, I can't touch my toes? Me.
All right, so we have 4 items each on our list of things that'll bring you back to better days. You let us know whose list resonates with you more.
My first submission is riding the grocery cart down the aisles.
Pretending to smoke when you can see your breath.
Morning cartoons on a Saturday with a big bowl of Fruit Loops.
Putting macaroni noodles on each prong of your fork for no real reason.
Sneaking chocolate from your candy bowl after Halloween that your parents had hidden up in the pantry.
Making swamp water anytime you were in control of a pop machine.
TGIF on ABC. Friday nights, you'd be watching Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Boy Meets World, and Family Matters.
And finally, pretending you were dead in a pool to see if anybody reacted.
Nobody cared. You'd be floating there forever.
Oh, no. Everybody cared when I did it.
Okay, that is dark, because same.
780-784-7107. Let's blast through our list one more time. You go first.
Okay, sneaking chocolate from the candy bowl after Halloween that your parents had hidden up in the pantry. TGIF on ABC. Morning cartoons on Saturday with Fruit Loops. And riding the grocery cart down the aisle.
Pretending to smoke when you could see your breath from the cold. Putting macaroni noodles on each prong of your fork for no reason. Making swamp water anytime you were in control of the pop machine. And pretending you're dead in the pool to see if anybody reacted.
That is so funny. We all did the same things. And it's weird because none of us conversed about it. We were all just the same child.
I don't know how many times I've heard engagement stories and I've been like, oh, that's perfect.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I heard one friend of ours in Calgary just got engaged this week, and I just think it's the cutest idea ever for numerous reasons.
I had a friend on Facebook post a photo in front of the Disneyland castle.
Okay.
And they're just standing there in the picture, him and his girlfriend, but I'm looking in the background to see if anyone's down on one knee.
Right.
Because that's where people get engaged.
Yeah, good point. This was not that.
No.
It was, super unique. I've never heard of this before. We'll break it down in a few minutes, but we want to hear from you as well at 780-784-7107. If you have a unique engagement story you want to share with us, hit us up.
So that eliminates what? Hikes? Disney World?
Think if anybody,
Castle?
if anybody wants to brag, we're not here to judge.
No, I'm not judging, but I just mean unique.
Right. Yeah, let's just let them think it wasn't unique yet.
Oh, we're going to just...
So
everyone's is unique. Everyone's story is different.
If they think it's unique to them.
Well, it probably is unique, actually.
We just won't...
I'm actually going to take back what I said, because you're right.
You should.
Because everyone's different.
Exactly.
Everyone's story is amazing. And
we just won't read the ones that...
The boring ones.
Yeah, the waterfall ones.
Oh, waterfall ones. That sounds nice.
Okay, never mind. Anyway, that's coming up next.
Okay.
Play 107, Ryder and Lisa. So, engagement story. Our friend in Calgary just was proposed to this week, said yes. They're very excited. Super cute couple. Here's how he did it, though. She's really big into spicy food. So, and I think really big into the YouTube series Hot Ones, hosted by Sean Evans, where he interviews celebrities and they go hotter and hotter sauce, usually wings.
Yeah, they're so fun to watch. The Post Malone one.
Yeah, that was a really good one.
He is just sweating buckets. Like he's unwell. It's so good.
But this guy ordered the Hot Ones box. So I think it comes with all the different hot sauces you try.
Mm-hmm. And then you just ask questions the entire time. They filmed it. So romantic. So unique.
And then I think his last question, was, will you marry me and can I get you a glass of milk? Because she was,
probably
struggling with the last hot sauce.
How fun is that memory for them?
Well, yeah.
When she was proposed to, she was dying.
Yeah.
Like her tongue was on fire, but how cute is that story?
Well, and I even think the idea of sitting down with your partner and asking them some cool questions where you get to know some things that you don't know about them yet, which is a rarity when you're
change your
talking
mind.
relationships.
You like keep the ring in your pocket. You're like,
how many partners?
Wait a minute, what?
No, but I think leading up, the questions would have been a really cool part of it as well. You'd probably remember a lot of that conversation. Although I think when you go into engagements, you're so nervous that it's all becomes a bit of a blur.
I wonder if she knew it was happening.
Yeah, that's an interesting question.
I guess you could use the hot sauce as an excuse as to why you have a rash on your chest. Because when I get nervous, I get a rash. So actually, the hot sauce is brilliant.
Right, good point.
That is so cute. Yeah, I love it. So we're asking you for your unique engagement stories. Brandon wrote in saying, my ex loves graffiti. So I told her we were going to an art show in Toronto. On the way, I took a detour to this famous graffiti alley. We walked through it in wonder at some awesome pieces, then had a photographer there pretending his camera was acting up and needed us to help him check his lens depth. So we posed for a few shots. I get down on one knee, and all three of us pop champagne in front of this famous graffiti. Then we went for some tequila at this awesome local dirty bar that he knew about. It was so great, but of course it all ended in hell. But still... Thank you for your story. This is a great brainstorm session for anyone that's like, oh, I really want to propose, but I can't think of anything.
Bill hit us up and said, my wife's favorite band was coming to town, smaller band, smaller venue. Mm-hmm. But I reached out to them and asked if they wanted to help. They wrote a song called Will You Marry Bill? And when she turned around, when she figured out what they were singing, I was on my knee.
Okay, I love that.
Super cute. Super cute. Anything that I think goes above and beyond.
Yes.
Has to be recognized, even if it's a little tacky or not necessarily your style. Like, it's an intimidating thing to come up with the perfect scenario. Like, I think a lot of guys lose confidence. They think they got it figured out, and then something will be said in passing, like, oh, I'd never want it done in public. And then they're like, oh, okay, back to the drawing board.
I need to know, because I've never been proposed to. Do most people know it's coming? Because I think if you're preparing to propose, you gotta sprinkle in romantic things here and there.
So it's
leading
not like
up to it, so it's not obvious.
Unique, right?
Because if you're not doing anything romantic for your partner, then all of a sudden you're dressed to the nines. You're telling them they don't know where they're going for dinner. You got them a bouquet of flowers, and they're like, "This is out of the ordinary." Mm-hmm. It's too obvious. Or do you not care? I don't know. I just don't know what that experience is like. So. Well, tell us your unique engagement stories.
Jenna, who does the show right after us, had a unique engagement story. Well, kind of.
Yeah.
They just went for a hike, but they never go for hikes.
So she must have known.
She was so mad.
She's like, we don't hike.
We don't hike. What the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
So you came across something that seems to be happening more and more at workplaces. And for those without kids, this might be really frustrating to hear.
Yeah. So... this is the time of year where people will book off their holidays over Christmas.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And it seems to be this common trend where if you're in an office where there are people that have children, even though you have no children, if you book off time long before someone else that has kids, they still get the priority to spend time with their children.
They can guilt you into saying like, hey, listen, we got to... accommodate this parent.
Exactly.
That's if you were at a workplace where like not everybody can take time off at the same time. Mm-hmm.
So if you're child free, there's a lot of people that are getting sat down by the boss and they're saying, I'm sorry, but so-and-so, I'm actually going to give them those days off so they can be with their kids over the holidays. And a lot of people are fired up saying, well, that's not fair. I have family too. Just because I choose to not have kids does not mean that I am less important or less deserving of Christmas off. Mm-hmm. And it was interesting to see all the comments from other people saying, you know, we had kids and if someone else booked off time before us, that was fine. It didn't actually matter what day Christmas was. We just made Christmas happen on the days that we weren't working. So I'm curious what people's thoughts are. If you're experiencing something like this in your office where there's a priority for people because of their lifestyle.
See, to me, I get both sides. It's not fair. And that probably shouldn't be the case. It should be whoever books time off first. But then there's the keeners that will book it off on like January 1st the year before.
Okay.
Well, no, but that's tacky. Like, people haven't figured out what they're doing yet. So just because you book it off, and I've even heard of people that book it off and then will change it. Oh. So they'll just like hold the place.
Honestly, all coworkers are annoying.
Sure.
Can we just put that out there?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Can't stand this guy.
Yeah, especially co-hosts.
Like, honestly.
But I do get that the priority to the parents thing kind of makes sense because there is something really magical about kids at Christmas.
Okay, but if I wanted to book that time off, I'd like to spend time with my nieces and nephews. Why don't I get that?
That's fair, and I think that should maybe be brought up if in the argument is like, actually, I treat my niece and nephew like they're kids of mine, and I want to be there Christmas morning.
What if I never want to have a kid?
But are you invited to your niece and nephew's house on Christmas morning when they're opening the gifts? No, right? Like, most people just keep that at their immediate family. And for an adult...
Yeah, but we get together at noon.
Okay, well, go after work. I don't know.
No, I don't like this.
Well, I'm just trying to see both sides.
We just got a text from Liz in all caps. F that. I'm pretty sure you can't even do that as a manager, but it happens. And sick time, says Jen, the amount of times in general people with kids get off compared to me, and I don't have kids.
Yeah, but that's to take care of sick kids, isn't it? Like, you gotta understand that some of the things like that are gonna pop up sometimes.
Lorelai says, I think it really comes down to childcare. What daycares and day homes are open on Christmas? Oh, that's an interesting point.
See?
But... Okay, so this text says, I'd rather have my holiday in the summer anyway. Daycare is literally closed over daycare. They're closed the entire week of Christmas is what they meant to say.
Yeah.
Good luck finding childcare over Christmas. We don't get favored in my office. We have to book our holidays by April, and then we have a team meeting and go over the whole year. We all get the same amount of sick days. So to anyone complaining that people with kids use more, let me tell you, I'd rather work than watch a sick 2-year-old.
Agreed.
They can use their sick days, however.
Oh, interesting. You can use them when you're not sick?
Mm-hmm. Sarah says it should be about whoever books it off first, no matter what their reasons. If it's important for a parent to have it off, then they need to be booking it off.
Don't you think, though, if you're an adult and you don't have, like, locked-in huge plans and it's, like, Christmas morning, wouldn't a good person, like, be like, I'll work for you?
Yes, probably.
And the person who's the parent should probably get them a really nice gift for doing so. Like,
but then there's a lot of people that even if they don't have kids, their family is their world.
Yeah. Meet them at noon, though. It's like that.
What if they work? What if it's a 9 to 5 shift?
Meet them at 5. I don't know.
Right.
780-784-7107. What's going on?
Because I have kids and a bunch of them, I typically get Christmas off. The other side of it is guys that don't have kids always get New Year's off. Because they have free time, rest, food in their belly, spending money, all the things that I don't have as a father. Right?
That's a good point.
Yes.
So there we go. There might be an answer.
Okay. And it seems like a lot of people texting in are frustrated with people that book things off way in advance. Like Nicole says, someone at our work submits their entire holiday vacation the first week of the new year. So everyone else gets screwed because they submitted it 10 months in advance.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. You don't know what you're doing 10 months from now. I don't know what I'm doing this weekend. The things that'll keep you up at night when you remember them, cringy moments from when you were younger, when you had a crush on somebody and you just had to see them or be with them or let them know.
Or maybe you watch them from afar. It's okay. We've all been there. We're all creepy. So we want to hear your story about outrageous things you did for your high school crush. Maybe it was a workplace crush, a friend in your friend group. What were the cringy things you did? Because for me personally, in school, I would always pretend I had to go to the bathroom because I knew what classroom they were in and I wanted to walk by it. And that was for a glance. Like, that's just to see someone for 2 milliseconds, and it was always worth it. Creepy.
Yeah, pretty creepy. I imagine if they saw you too, you're just standing outside their classroom staring.
I would never stand.
Okay.
I would walk by, but I would make sure I was doing my model walk. And I would only walk past on days where I looked amazing. Like, I thought I looked amazing, but really, oh my gosh, my style was so bad. Remember when you'd have the assembly where the whole school got together in the gymnasium for something and you were so excited because you could scan it? It was like, Where's Waldo? But with your crush. It was the best.
My crush's bus would usually come after mine. This was like grade 4.
Okay.
Grade 3, somewhere in there. And I remember getting off the bus and I'd just stand there and my buddies would be like, hey, what are you, like, come on, or we're going in. Or, hey, do you want to go play on the monkey bars before school?
And you'd have your blue steel facial expression going.
In my Ninja Turtles backpack, just looking tough as hell. And I would stand there and just wait by myself.
Just to see her get on.
Arms at the side, just to watch her get off the bus.
Oh, get off the bus, yeah.
And then I wouldn't say anything. I'd just watch her walk by, and then I could start my day.
Okay, we're getting the funniest texts. Because, Ryder, that was a great answer.
Thank you.
Super creepy.
Super cringy.
Morgan said she would give notes to her crush and spray it with her perfume. We all know it was Hawaiian Ginger from Walmart.
Hilarious.
Cody wrote in saying, I like this girl so much that in grade 6, I joined the cheerleaders team after school just so I could spend time with her.
Well played. Well played. Yeah, that's why I went and I took home ec instead of industrial arts. Those were our 2 options. And I looked at the class list and I was like, oh, 26 dudes in an IA, 26 girls in home ec. I know what I'm doing. Just hanging with the ladies.
Okay, so Angie wrote in, I was the stage 5 clinger, big nerd in high school. I would follow my crush around at school and on the way home. Angie.
Yeah, they thought you were creepy.
But we weren't creepy at the same time. Like, we were so young. And you would think about them all the time, but you really didn't know much about them. They probably sucked, but you were obsessed. Like, remember when you would be recess or it'd be in between classes and you would go to a completely opposite side of your school, so far away from where your next class was, because you knew their walking schedule between classes and you just wanted to glance at them once.
Absolutely.
We all did it.
In junior high, my friend and I had a crush on this boy that went to a different school. We would sit on MSN Messenger for like hours after school waiting for him to come on because you'd think he would talk to you and you'd maybe get a hi, and usually you didn't even get that.
Did you log out then log back in so he'd see you were there?
Oh, 100%. And then you would like call each other's house phones and be like, oh my God, he's on.
That is so funny. Go dibs the computer room. Kick your dad off. It's time to get on MSN.
Literally, everybody get off the phone and use the computer.
It seems like a lot of people would find out their crush's favorite band and learn a lot about it to pretend they were a fan. Like Ben wrote in grade 10, I had a crush on a girl who loved Depeche Mode. So I saved money. I bought a couple of their CDs, listened to them nonstop so I'd have something to talk to her about. Then she moved schools. But the lesson I learned is that Violator is a great record.
Awesome.
And then Chantel says, in junior high, I bought a Led Zeppelin t-shirt because that was my crush's favorite band. And I studied it. I memorized everything I could about the band to make it seem like I actually liked them. I got questioned by all the boys in school except for my crush.
Hilarious. Jody's wasn't music. Jody decided to start collecting hockey cards so they could trade with their crush and have the same favorite hockey team. Jody knew nothing about hockey at the time.
We were so desperate.
Probably made some terrible trades.
Yeah, that's true.
Like if I saw that happening, I was like, this person knows nothing about hockey. Okay, how about I trade you my Peter Klima for your Wayne Gretzky? Like,
totally.
You know, 780-784-7107. Yours is not what you did that was cringy, but what somebody else did for you.
Yeah, so I walked into class one day. We were in shop class and sat down beside me, and some guy looked at me and said, hey, Megan, look what I did for you. And I looked over, and all I could see was my name carved into his forearm, dripping in blood.
He carved your name into his arm. Do you think that scar is still there, or was it like not deep enough? He was just trying to make a cool impression.
I don't think it would be there, but I think he was just doing the cool impression.
Okay, wait, next question. Did he spell Megan right?
He did, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, he was committed.
Sure was. That's a tough name to spell right.
Okay, to wrap this up, I got 2 awesome texts that just rolled in. This one here from Amanda says, in industrial arts class, I carved my crush's name on a board and I put gloss coating over it and hung it up in my room.
Nice. Romance.
And this first-time texter, I think, might win Christine wrote in saying, tragedy. We take the same bus. He gets off on the last stop. I pretended that was my stop too for an entire year.
Oh my God.
Plot twist, he married my best friend.
No.
All those kilometers you'd walk home every day, Christine, and for what?
I have a plot twist story like that too. So this is what was cringy that I did. In college, we had like a resident assistant. So it was one of our fellow students who kind of like took care of a bunch of the different residents.
The captain of the area
tower that we were in, yeah.
Sure.
And she was a smoke show. And we all had a crush on her. And we weren't allowed to even like change a light bulb. We had to get the RA to do that. So we constantly would just undo the light bulb a little bit and then tell her our light wasn't working. And she'd have to come in, put a ladder up,
go and watch her do it, you creeps.
She married my brother. So that's my sister-in-law now.
Okay. Yeah. Do you still get her to change light bulbs when you go to visit? You're like, hey, your porch lights are out.
I should.
Your brother's like, can you go away?
Hot hashtags.
All right. The eggnog latte is trending because it's not returning to Starbucks and people are fired up. But guess what? If you go to a local coffee shop, I bet they'll have it. I know one right down the street that has an eggnog latte.
Very good point.
You know? So do your research.
Heck yeah.
Yep.
Another hot hashtag is the Devils at Oilers. That game looked like it was ours, and then it just wasn't.
Yeah.
I'm very surprised with how fast New Jersey is. Just because they've always been such a slow, boring team. Like in years past. They're a quick little team this year. They could do some damage.
Also trending, the movie My Policeman, starring Harry Styles, is now streaming on Prime Video, so I know what I'm doing tonight. Hopefully it's better than Don't Worry, Darling.
I've heard mixed reviews about Don't Worry, Darling. A lot of people say it's quite good.
I know. I actually haven't seen it yet, so I should get on that.
You should double up today. Just go Harry.
Yeah.
Just be a real Harry chick today.
I can do that easily.
Those are your hashtags for...
Hot.
Okay, sorry.
Whoa.
Well,
we're not fighting on a Friday.
Apparently we are,
That's
Harry
a Monday
chick.
thing. That's a Monday thing. Don't be jealous of my hair. Sorry, I didn't mean that. It just came out.
See, you're just being quite rude.
You started it.
No. Those are your hot hashtags. Was that good? For Friday, November 4th.
Okay, 90s at 9 is coming up. Don't go anywhere. Except you can leave.
The Ryder and Lisa replay.
Brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free.
Play 107.